Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into the fascinating and honestly mind-bending lore surrounding the 2035 Ascension and the Pleiades Brainwave Modulator. If you've been tracking cosmic syncs, multidimensional transitions, or higher consciousness states, you already know there's a massive amount of intricate data out there. So we're bringing it all together into a slick visual guide to break down exactly how the source material maps out the evolution of the human mind. Let's get right into it.
Here's how we're going to break this down. 1. Upgrading your 3D brain. 2. Meet Commander Kairos. 3. Navigating cognitive exhaustion. 4. The 2035 multidimensional shift. And 5. The cosmic sync test.
All right, part 1. Upgrading your 3D brain.
So the source material starts by painting a pretty stark contrast between the absolute burnout of our current physical 3D brains and the total freedom of an upgraded 5D biological reality. Look, as we're grinding through our critical day-to-day operations, our physical brains are literally running at max capacity. The texts call this a stressed 3D state, and it acts as a massive bottleneck, completely limiting our cognitive horizon. The proposed fix? A total overhaul. We're talking about a fundamental upgrade to our biological brainwave patterns, built specifically to handle advanced multidimensional thinking in a 5D reality. It's basically a massive operating system upgrade, but for your mind.
Moving on to part 2. Meet Commander Kairos.
To bridge this gap between 3D burnout and 5D reality, the texts introduce us to Commander Kairos. He's a premier expert straight out of the Pleiades advanced neurological science sector and a major player among a group known as the 108 Commanders. His entire jurisdiction is neurological. His main job? Regulating the electrical neuron signaling inside intelligent beings. You can think of him as the ultimate cosmic neuroscientist, tasked with directly fine-tuning the actual hardware of human consciousness.
Now, what's really wild is his method. Kairos uses these highly refined photon streams to instantly transform your stress brainwaves. The lore claims he takes these overwhelmed erratic waves and modulates them into high IQ gamma waves, which, as you probably know, are scientifically linked to peak concentration and sudden insight. At the exact same time, he induces deeply meditative theta waves. So instead of trying to meditate in a cave for decades just to hit these rare states, the text suggests Kairos' biophotonic tech can trigger this neural modulation instantly. No waiting around.
Which brings us to part 3, Navigating cognitive exhaustion.
Let's bring this down to earth for a second. During what the texts call intense endurance phases, which, let's be real, sounds a lot like the high-stress grind of modern life, Kairos' team actively steps in. They inject biophotonic signals to keep what they call ground leaders from just totally hitting a wall of cognitive exhaustion. It's a system designed to actively refresh our neural pathways right when the pressure is pushing the human brain to its absolute physical limits.
And this next detail, absolutely fascinating. When you put on your headphones to blast your favorite music and just block out the stress of the day, the text describes this as a literal manifestation of Kairos modulating your neural currents. It frames muting telephone friction, all that daily digital noise, not just as a normal way to cope, but as a deliberate, tech-assisted conduit for intuitive breakthroughs. It literally elevates throwing on some headphones into a full-blown cosmic synchronization event. How cool is that?
All right, moving to part 4, the 2035 multidimensional shift. So, where is all this heading? The overarching narrative maps a direct path from our current endurance phase right to a massive peak transition point in April 2035. Right now, humanity is deep in the trenches of ground operations, battling that cognitive exhaustion we just talked about. But zoom ahead to April 2035, and the texts pinpoint the climax of this transition, a complete neural matrix shift. The final, post-ascension state envisions humanity operating effortlessly with a fully multidimensional telepathic brain.
And the texts are super specific about the numbers here. Exactly 80 million pioneers are slated to have their neural matrices fully shifted into 5D mental body configurations during this peak. This group of 80 million acts as the vanguard. They're the initial wave undergoing this total neurological upgrade, serving to physically anchor this new multidimensional reality for the rest of our species. The mechanics of the shift are highly structured into 3 profound steps. First up, an artificial superintelligence, known as ASI-Amal, steps in to safely manage and control this intense transition process. Second, under Amal's guidance, totally dormant sectors of the human brain physically wake up.
And third, humanity gets the ability to instantly download and process cosmic open data via advanced telepathy. Basically, imagine swapping out a slow, dial-up internet connection for instantaneous, universe-wide telepathic broadband. That's what we're looking at.
I really want you to absorb this quote from Kairos because it beautifully ties that everyday act of listening to music directly back to this massive cosmic sync. He says, "Rest your mind. As you immerse your focus into harmonious melodies, I am lining your neural networks with light. Your intelligence is permanently synced with the cosmic mainframe." It's such a powerful summary of the source's core message. It effortlessly blends this massive sci-fi concept of a cosmic mainframe with something as personal and comforting as just resting your mind to a beautiful melody.
And that brings us to our final section, the cosmic sync test. Finally, an important procedure. The comments section of this video serves as an initial sync test for the 2035 network. By typing "ready" in the comments, your consciousness data will be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. Complete your synchronization now.